Hello, everybody. Today, I'm going to be making a tier list of all of the Mario Kart 64 tracks. I really like this game. I played on these tracks decent bits. I just figured I'd give my opinion on them that nobody asked for, but you get it anyways. It's for free. So starting off with Luigi Raceway, I think I might have a bit of a controversial opinion on this one, but this is S tier for me. Fucking get up there. I hate this computer so much. Stop. Thank you. It's S tier for me. It is to be fair, it's a very simple track, but I think that's why it is the best track. Because unlike pretty much any of these other tracks, there's no bullshit, there's no tricks, there's nothing that can slow you down, there's no bad track design. It is just simply you versus the track. It's like the most ultimate test of skill, in my opinion. It's a really great track. Uh, so definitely S tier for me. Ooh, Farm, very unfortunately. It's very similar to Leisure Raceway that has a very simple design. I think it is the simplest design in the game. Probably looks like a goddamn NASCAR track. But at the end of the day, the problem is these stupid fucking moles. It's the only element of like actual RNG in the game. It's complete bullshit. It sucks. It just makes Moo Farm 3 lap unbearable. Because it's like, oh hey, what's that? You had a good run, and now you're on the final lap, and now you're on the final mole hole thing of the final lap. Well, fuck you. Guess what? You get to restart because of RNG. It's completely unfair. I don't like it. Definitely D tier for me. There are worse tracks, but definitely not a very good one. Cuba Triple Beach is okay. It's not the greatest in my opinion. The music's just okay. The track design's just okay. There's that ramp jump. I don't like the ramp jump, but that's probably just because I can't do it that well. And seriously. Um, Overall, though, I don't want to say it's as bad as Moo Farm because there's no actual RNG to it. It's just not really my thing. Calamar Desert, I definitely like a lot more. Calamar Desert is B tier. It's a pretty good track, honestly. I would definitely put it up there. I think the music's good. Only real problem I have with it is that I can't beat the train on lap 3, but that's less of a track design thing and more of a me being fucking bad at the game thing. But overall, this is a really good track, and I think it's very nice that there's nothing really like this train in other levels. The other levels have obstacles. You got the penguins and Sherbert Land. You got the cars and Toad's Turnpike. But there's nothing really like the train, in my opinion. So yeah, definitely a good track. Moving on to Flower Cup. We have Toad's Turnpike. I gotta be honest, I'm not really a fan of this, and it's for one simple reason. The track is very boring, and I think they knew that because there's cars and there's trucks and everything, sure, but like if you took that away, what would the track really be? It would be this boring loop. It'd be a double loop. And I know that like you could make the argument that I put Luigi Raceway in S tier when this track is also very simple, but I think the difference is that this track, Luigi Raceway, is a lot shorter. Usually you get like 40 seconds per lap. You get like a 39, 38 second lap. At least that's what I get personally. So it's a lot shorter than Toad's Turnpike, which takes me around 3 minutes. So it is a significant difference. Definitely not my cup of tea personally. Music is actually pretty good though. I do like the music. I'm willing to admit. Propsonland is definitely an A tier. I really like the design of this track. I think it's very good. The music is great too. There's a lot of interesting jumps you can get if you use mushrooms at the right spot. Definitely a very fun track to run. Chaco Mountain is one of my favorite tracks, and it is honestly. Can I just thank you? This thing is so hard to fucking use, honestly. But I do enjoy it personally. it's one of those tracks where I can't really explain why I like it, but it's probably the track I've put the most amount of time into. It's very enjoyable. Once again, music is really good. And personally, it's a very unique track for me just because it's mostly has this like closed off atmosphere. And you don't really see that in many other tracks, honestly. They're a lot more open. When you're talking about, you're just like surrounded. It gives you a bit of an isolated feel. It's very interesting. Mario Raceway, I gotta admit, I am very much not a fan of this track. I don't like the layout. I don't like the music. I don't like the stupid mushroom cut. It, it is honestly a very frustrating track for me to drive. And the 3 lap sucks. I'm just gonna put it out there. The 3 lap, I don't like doing 3 lap on Mario Raceway. It's just not fun at all. Mario Stadium is kind of similar to Rainbow Road, where I'll talk later, where it's just way too long for non-shortcut. It's like 4 minutes, almost 5 per attempt. So it's just, and unfortunately, Wario Stadium is not very visually interesting. It does have probably one of the best tracks in the game, though. I would put it probably low C tier, personally. A very low C tier, though, definitely approaching this. I think it's better than these 3 tracks. Mostly because it has a bit more of an interesting layout. I actually like enjoying, I actually like the track, and then there's no moles to fuck you over, but personally, I think all of these tracks are much better than Wario Stadium, personally. If it didn't have the music, it would probably be D tier, if I'm being perfectly honest. Sugarland is kind of similar to Chocolate Mountain. I can't really explain why I like it. I started grinding it a bit. I used to actually really not like this track. It used to be one of my least favorites. Probably would have been like a D tier or an E tier, but honestly, I've been playing the track a lot more. I grinded out elite times on it. I think it's very, very enjoyable for me now. I've definitely come around to it. Definitely. I think it's really fun. A really fun track to drive. A really fun track to, find those little ways to go faster. Find those little jump cuts and going on the inside a bit more in the tunnel section. Very, very, very enjoyable track. Royal Raceway, second favorite track in the game. I really love Royal Raceway. I love the music about it. I love the design of it. I love the way you drive it non-shortcut. Driving non-shortcut on Royal Raceway is very fun, in my opinion. You do these nice little jumps, and there's that part at the end. Doing flap is very fun for me personally. Definitely one of my favorite tracks to grind out. Very, very fun. Bowser's Castle, I feel like I'm in the minority here. I really don't like Bowser's Castle. It's not fun to drive. I hate the goddamn swamps. If It's not very enjoyable for me to drive. I don't like driving 3 lap on it either. Flap is okay. It's not great, but I'm okay with Flap. It's definitely not as bad as Moo Moo Farm or Toad's Turnpike, but it's definitely not really up there in my opinion. I would definitely prefer driving on any of these tracks. Digger Parkway is a bit interesting for me because it's one of my worst tracks, but it's definitely one of my favorite tracks. Or like definitely in terms of the ones that I'm not actually good at. And I really like this track. It's nice. I think the ways you can drive it on a shortcut are very fun. It's very interesting to use all those grass cuts, and the ramp jump is very fun when you actually get to pull it off. Overall, the music is fine. Music's fine. It's nothing great, but it's all right. Yoshi Falls. Oh my god, I reserve a special place of hatred in my heart for Yoshi Falls. I don't like anything about this track. I don't understand why anybody would like this track. I don't understand why anybody would enjoy playing on this. It is horrible in my opinion. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna put up the Yoshi Valley map on screen so you can see how stupid it is. And when you're like in the parts where you're supposed to be like taking the pass and everything, the game literally cannot keep track of where you are. So it puts up those stupid mystery boxes, like the question marks. And like, seriously, if your game cannot keep track of where you are because of the track design, you should change it. Okay, you should. It is so it's frustrating to drive on flap. It's frustrating to drive on three lap. I've met anybody who likes it that much. Honestly, I just hate it. It is F tier. I would rather drive any of these tracks. Mario Raceway, it's a bit extreme, but you know, any of these tracks. I fucking hate Mario Raceway, but Yoshi Yoshi Valley is so ugh. Mission Boardwalk, actually, definitely one of my favorite tracks. I've kind of been on the edge of like B tier versus A tier. I think it's low A tier. It has a definitely a unique atmosphere. Um, it's definitely a very enjoyable track to drive. It's very similar to Sherbert Land, where you can find those little jump cuts to save time and pull out those little tricks. It's very satisfying to do. It's a very satisfying track to grind, in my opinion. And my favorite thing by far about it is okay. So here is all the other things in Special Cup. So in Special Cup, it's Rainbow Road, it's got Yoshi Valley, and it's got DK Jungle Parkway. And all these tracks have one thing in common, and it's that they have obstacles to punish you. Yoshi Valley is the most extreme with this. I fucking hate it. These two are less extreme, but they're definitely still things. Like in DK Jungle Parkway, if you do the grass cut, you get hit by coconuts, and then there's the stupid chomp chains on Rainbow Road. But Banshee Boardwalk doesn't have any of that. It's just pure driving skill. And those are definitely the tracks that I like the most. It's either just basically a lot of the technical tracks or the tracks where there's something unique or interesting about it, in my opinion. You definitely see those are at the top a lot more than the kind of more gimmicky tracks, you know? And then Rainbow Road. I'm just gonna come out and say this track's boring as hell. It is so hard to actually drive this track and be entertained. It is the worst rendition of Rainbow Road, easily. Like, it's so unbelievable. I don't understand how that got past testing, because the goddamn track takes 6 minutes to go through on time trials. And, like, sure, if you're a god, you can do it in under 6 minutes, but, like, it's still 5 minutes and 59 seconds. That's a lot of time to spend on one track. I mean, you could do, like, fucking... I'm trying to think here. What could you do in the meantime? You could do, like, 2 runs of Toad's Turnpike. Let's see here. If you're good enough, you can do, like, maybe 3 or 4 runs of Moo Moo Farm. You know, do some Koopa Troopa Beach attempts. You get 1.5 Wario Stadium attempts in. But honestly, you can get like 2 3/4 of Choco Mountain runs in. There's so much you can do in the meantime for this track, and it would be so much better if it was more visually interesting. Like, if you remove the chain chomps, it would be. There's nothing. There's nothing to the track. It's just a bunch of rainbow. The road is rainbow colored, obviously. Fucking Rainbow Road. Wow, surprising. And then it's this stupid guardrails. And then, like, seriously, there's nothing else. So I would really. I don't want to put an F tier or E tier because I do like Rainbow Road. I don't love it, but I would definitely put it. This is hard. I'm going to change this up a little bit. I'm going to put this here, and I'll move Toad's Turnpike up. So, this is probably where I would put the ranking. Actually, no, I like Bowser Castle a little bit better. Mostly because it doesn't take as long. This would be my final ranking. I definitely think the Luigi Raceway one is probably the one most people would have a problem with, but it's one of those things where it's beauty and simplicity. It's like tea and honey. It's like pizza. You know, you don't need to change much. It's good. It's just good. Yeah. Overall, I think these are my rankings. I stand by these rankings personally. You know, anything from like C to F tier isn't very fun to grind on. Anything from B to S tier is pretty good. You know, we like those tracks. Overall, though, I think it was really good. Although I would like to hear from you what your favorite tracks are. If you disagree with any of these, you think maybe I didn't place one high enough, would love for you to comment. Not only because I can hear other people's opinions, but because comments boost me in the algorithm, and you know I love that. Anyways, I just noticed A and D tier have the most tracks. I don't know what that says. It's interesting to think about. Anyways, that really is it. Simple video, and it's some fun. We had to talk about Mario Kart 64. I don't have to put in any effort. Only I'll have a good time, presumably. Alright, see you later. Or just have a good day. Have a great day. Bye.